My name is Adowa Corinne Dijon Lynch. I am African British Caribbean. I've embraced all three of my heritages. I was born in London and I've been in Rwanda for 2.5 years now. Initially, I didn't know about Rwanda. I was prompted spiritually to come here. Like most Pan-Africans like myself, we are looking to come to the continent as part of our healing journey and as our restoration in life. Well, let me take you back a little bit. When I first came to Rwanda, I came here to launch food innovation, which my company is called Green Staples Collective. It's a multifaceted company, which means I wanted to really be involved with the 4 main areas of concerns across the continent, which is education, agriculture, healthcare, and tourism. So as a company, we kind of sit within those 4 areas. And first of all, we started with microgreens. For those of you who don't know what microgreens is a small plant. They are a crop which grows to about 7 inches high or smaller. They are the babies, if you like, of your full-grown crop. For instance, things like your broccoli, your lentils. Microgreens grow to about this big, and they contain over 40% of nutritional value. So if you figure, when you see a broccoli, for instance, or cauliflower, for instance, you see it as the adult. But when it's at this stage, it has more nutritional value than when it is as an adult. So microgreens is known as a superfood. It can be grown in and outdoors, and it's grown in 14 days. So I first came here to kind of promote that kind of food innovation. Then I started to look at, first of all, who are the pollinators? What needs to happen to allow us to have great crop, great food? And it's the bees. So I started to look into beekeeping, and I realized that there was a market where we needed to explore more into the diversity of honey. We know what honey is, most of us. Most of us has tasted honey. However, for me, it was more about bringing honey to the higher level, to premium brand level. So I created and developed the range you know as Beyond Honey. And Beyond Honey is about blending of spices and herbs to bring the honey to a higher medicinal standard. And that's what Beyond Honey does. So, for example, when you blend certain spices and herbs into honey, okay, it may help with things like the immune system. It helps you with stomach problems. It can help you even with cancer. So to me, that's where our great research kind of took place. We wanted to know what herbs on this continent will give us medicinal value, take it into another area. So with Beyond Honey, we see it as the pioneers. We see ourselves as the new era of honey. So in total, we've been here for 2.5 years in Rwanda, but the actual Beyond Honey collection started about a year ago. I piloted it first because, being new, we wanted to see the reaction of the people. Which we've been very successful in the fact that, you know, a lot of people are now understanding the value of what, you know, an infused honey is. And for me and my team, it's really about pushing the boundaries of our food expectations. Beyond Honey, yes, it's here and we're glad it's made in Rwanda, but from a company's perspective, to get the best herbs and to get the best spices, we have to collect that from across Africa. And as a company, we find that is very important for our sustainability and our supply chain, obviously. So we have the kind of vision of being able to grow with the people. We should be able to be more involved with the honey community, but also the whole chain, from, you know, teaching young children about the value of food. Where does their food come from? Okay, and we do believe that with that education, we should be able to extend the chain. because of the volume of honey that's required, you know, if you have a small amount of honey being produced in a country, it means that the beekeepers, unfortunately, some of them, they add things to it. Okay, we know this is happening, and I'm sure that the officials are dealing with that as best as we can. I think the most important thing is to look at standards. We need to create the standard across the board. That's very important. What makes us different is that we are a premium brand in the respect of we don't just have the beekeepers harvest honey and then you put it in a jar, put a label on it, right? Because that is initially what's done traditionally. The whole idea behind Beyond Honey is that we take the quality, which is most important, our base, and we blend it with Pacific spices and herbs. That brings it into a total different market, okay? And we are very unique in our blends, okay, because these are things that has come from myself. But what's more important is it's about the quality. Beyond Honey is about making sure we reach medicinal standards, because that's what we want. We want to be known as the medicinal honey collection. The experience actually has been very rewarding in some respect, in the way that, if you like, the majority of people welcome us. But there are areas in it that needs improvement. You know, I feel that there is areas where we need more help in settling. We need to understand a lot of your laws more clearly, and information needs to be widely available so we can make certain judgments on what we need to do. You know, Rwanda, being small, is very well developed in a lot of areas, okay? But I feel as a business person, we can even make that more stronger. I would say to my Caribbean brothers and sisters, come and see for yourself, most important. Have an open mind. Understand it's not the same as being the Caribbeans, okay? From hospitality, from how we treated in customer care. And therefore, instead of seeing it as a negative, we need to help improve that, okay? I feel as well from the Caribbeans, we're used to sea. You know, we're used to sand and sea and all this, okay? And to understand that that is not necessarily here. However, there are other things that make here really great, okay? And they have to do their due diligence. If they can connect with fellow Caribbeans that's here, I think that really helps the process. It makes it a lot easier. And also, I feel that they need to see the potential that is here, but make sure they have the experience or the ability to gain the experience they need to be successful here in Rwanda. I think the expectations was there would be a mutual understanding on professionalism. Okay, so coming here, I've realized that's a work in process. Okay, that there's a lot more training. You see, it tends to be, whether you're from England or the Caribbeans, that, you know, people who are working have a good understanding on how things need to be done. I still feel that Rwanda is quite young in that, and therefore it does need us to spend more time training and getting that understanding across. And the one thing I do feel that there's a lack of that communication that is needed. We need to be able to communicate our needs more effectively, and the Rwandans need to communicate the culture and tradition more effectively to us, because then that's a good marriage, that's a good mix. I think that there are quite a few challenges. For instance, we don't understand the tax laws and how that work, and that's a major challenge, and that is something I feel we need more input on. Also, there's challenging in getting the raw materials, and there's a language barrier, you know. Exactly. So when you've only got one place to go to get your packaging, that becomes a major challenge, because if they don't have it, like we had, initially we had our infusions in 100 grams and 250 grams, and we can only get it from one supplier. The supplier no longer does it. So we had to, you know, put them into larger, which means there's an increase in cost. So, you know, I would like to see more manufacturing happening, and the support of that because there are companies out there who would like to come here and set up manufacturing, but there is, you know, a lot of misunderstanding in how that needs to happen. I feel also that maybe we can look at creating a scenario where we have more hubs for pre-start and small SME businesses like ourselves, that maybe the rent is cheaper, you know, which helps us then to get on our feet and to make things happen. You know, I think again the facilities that are here can look at expanding on those things. You know, I think we've got some great things here. I think there's a lot of people who are working very consistent with trying to make things more easy and pleasable, but we still need a lot of that to happen for it to really be successful. I think it's very important to understand the consumer market here in Rwanda, and don't underestimate it or overrate it. Yeah, so as far as Green Staple is concerned, you know, when it comes to the microgreens end of the business, microgreens are perishable, right, in 7 days. So it's not something we can export. However, it's something that we can put in all communities as a hub crop, which is what we want to do, and into the schools. As far as Beyond Honey is concerned, Beyond Honey has been developed for the exporting market. We want to be the primary infused honey for Rwanda. Yeah, so when it goes abroad and they think of Rwanda, they think of Beyond Honey. When they think of Beyond Honey, they think of Rwanda. So for us, it's about exporting out. Within, obviously, East Africa, but beyond is very important for us to progress as a company.